He has so many people talking tonight. He paid for his ticket and he just wanted to go home, but airline workers insisted he leave the plane to make room for someone else.
Yeah, well, when he refused, he was dragged off the plane against his will right through the center aisle, though. All of it caught on camera. PIX11's Andrew Ramos looking into exactly what happened yesterday and if it could happen to you. Andrew.
A passenger aboard a United Airlines flight pulled from his seat by airport security, screaming in agony as fellow passengers sit by in shock.
Oh my God, look at what you did to him!
It's the disturbing outcome of an overbooked flight waiting to take off at Chicago O'Hare Airport for Louisville Sunday night. According to passengers on board, the airline overbooked the flight by 4 people, prompting a United worker to announce that the crew needed 4 passengers to volunteer to give up their seats for airline employees who were needed in Louisville Monday morning. When no one complied, a manager informed passengers that the crew will start randomly selecting seats. Those selected would have to leave the plane. This scene then unraveled when the passenger, identified as a doctor, was manhandled by security and physically escorted off the flight.
Busted his lip.
In a statement Monday, United Airlines acknowledged the incident but stopped short from addressing why the man was forcibly removed, only saying, "We apologize for the overbooked situation. Further details on the removed customer should be directed to authorities."
You look at the manner in which this passenger was removed, and it was completely excessive. They did not have to go to that measure that quickly.
According to criminal defense attorney and former Morris County prosecutor Bob Bianchi, while airlines do have the right to bump you off a flight, there is a protocol in place to protect passengers, which includes receiving a written breakdown describing his or her rights, as well as what will be offered in the form of compensation.
They did not do these things, to my knowledge, in this case, and on that alone, they're creating a big problem. But people should know their rights, and the law requires that the airline actually educate them as to what those rights are. They don't have to go find them out themselves.
Now, as the investigation continues into exactly what happened on this flight, it's unclear if United followed the code of federal regulations, which in this case would have involved a seating priority policy, which is essentially a written statement explaining to the passenger why they are being bumped off the flight and what, if anything, will be offered in return for their seat. In most cases, passengers are entitled to 200 to 400% of their fare. It's unclear if this passenger was ever given or offered anything. Guys, back to you.
Andrew, thank you. You know, we talked about this before the show on Facebook Live. We got so many comments and so many people asking this question, which has not been answered yet.
Yeah.
How did they pick the person that they're going to, remove from the flight? Is that random? Is that a computer? Is that why his seat, not the one next to him? So.
And then also, I mean, you heard Andrew saying, regulations. I mean, how about this decency? I mean, it just seems, you watch that video, you hear people screaming, and it's the guy. It just doesn't look right. It doesn't smell right.
Yeah.
So.
And those are the police actually doing that, not the flight attendants. It's the police that were brought in.
Wow.
Anyway, certainly more to talk about, and you can join us, actually, the conversation
it's ongoing.
On Facebook. All right, some other news to bring you tonight and to talk about. A night at the museum is not just for Ben Stiller anymore. We have details on the growing trend of adult sleepovers that are going on.
Also, 1/10 of the human population. Startling new research showing the real impact of smoking on a global scale.
And a record-breaking sale in the city to show you when we come back. A look at the most expensive townhouse ever sold.